was thinking about some things, about people talking about, I'm going to find enlightenment by killing my ego. I don't really understand that philosophy, basically, because we're already enlightened. We're already enlightened. Just being here, living on this planet, doing what we do every single minute, every single second. We're already enlightened. There's no concept of trying to get enlightened because we're already enlightened. The key is, we don't know that we are. We can't see it. Alright, like our brain is filled with bullshit and garbage all the time because we're living in the rat race and we're letting our ego control us. Right? So that's right. Our ego does control us, and to some extent, and it could cause some blindness. You can't see that you are enlightened already. But at the same time, you can't kill the ego. Because you are saying that you are going to kill yourself. That's the only way you can kill the ego, is by killing yourself, because you are your ego. And you can't destroy yourself. So it's kind of a weird idea to say, like, I'm going to attempt to destroy my ego. It's never going to work unless you just destroy yourself, because you are the same thing. You are your ego. So that doesn't really make sense to me, But seeing the enlightenment, seeing the point that proves the clarity of vision, the hilariousness, the transcendental laughter, where you just laugh your ass off and you can't stop laughing. Tears are coming out. Like, that is a moment where you can see. In a dream, it could happen. When the veil is pulled open and you can see, it's usually pretty fun. It's usually pretty great. You feel really good. That's what I've noticed. So the key then is, how do I increase those moments, those fleeting seconds and picoseconds where you get a flash of enlightenment. You really see things as exactly what they are. What are things? Things are not made up of the universe. Things are the universe. So every rock has the universe in it already, and it's emitting light. So everything is emitting light. Everything is like balls of light. Just can't see it, Can't see it because you're blinded. Trying to force yourself, to be enlightened is never going to work. That's not what enlightenment's all about. You can't force a blind person to see. it's just not going to work. I mean, it has to be unveiled naturally. You know, it's almost like equilibrium. It even exists in in the mind. You know, it's really, really crazy. That thermodynamic equilibrium still exists in the mind. It exists with thoughts. It exists with relationships. It exists in all facets of everything on this planet. All action and reaction. It's all pure. You can purely be described in terms of thermodynamics. But everything is light, everything is the universe, you know. I mean, it's all just one thing. Let it happen naturally, you know. Just read and learn and get more knowledge. Be cool, just play it cool. Don't force yourself to do anything, you know. When you're trying to be enlightened, trying to open up. See the light, you know. You never want to force the issue. Sometimes people don't understand that either. Pushing too hard against the wall, it's not going to work out. Seems like nobody gets what they want when they do that. Push too hard, seems like it always backfires, you know. It's thermodynamics, again, explains it. Friday night, you know, just got back from Tokyo. Business trip. Yeah. It's pretty heavy, you know. It's one big ass city, Tokyo. It's busy as hell. A lot of people. A lot of business. Yeah. Something else. I was thinking the other day, you know, about how rain turns mountains into the oceans. I was thinking about how a lot of people, you know, that are pretty wild, like me, you know, I mean, I'm not wild in what I do anymore, but I'm wild in how I think. So, there's wild people, you know, out there. We can be represented as fire. Okay? And eventually, when we start to really, like, cool off, maybe in our 60s or something. It's different for everybody, but average 60s. Start to extinguish that fire with water. So we slowly change from fire type person to being a water type person. Fire is passion. And water is peace. And then once you become a water person, you're just getting older, you know, your peace is starting to fade into the wind. And so it fades little by little as you get older and older, you're getting up in your 80s, your 90s, whatever. And it just blows you all away. All the water gets evaporated, and you just blow away. And that represents freedom. So us wild people, you know, we burn up, we become water, and then we're carried away by the winds. Freedom. That's the final phase, you know. So, you know, it's nothing to fear. Death. Nothing to fear at all. Only one element I left out was earth, you know. Soil. And I don't know, those are people that are grounded, you know. They're grounded, set in their ways, can't really think out of the box, don't have much intuition. They're just stuck, you know, on the earth. Very, you know, pragmatic. And those people just stay dirt until they die, until they're blown away by the wind. Whereas people like us, we get to experience fire and water first. Kind of maybe a Taoistic thought that I had, you know, about that. I'm not sure exactly the tenets of Taoism, but for me it seems, you know, something like that. I know in Taoism you're not supposed to assign labels to things, but that's kind of what I did with my fire, water, wind, earth analogies. So I don't know, man. I don't know what you would classify it as. Ancient Chinese, I don't know, man. Ryan philosophy, maybe. I'm sure somebody else thought of this stuff before I did. It's not that difficult to think about. I had this bomb-ass discussion today with a few people talking about art, you know, talking about achieving things, talking about working on creative projects, you know, and everybody's so happy and feels good when they're doing those things. So maybe that's what it's all about, you know. Being happy, you know, being happy is so great, just be happy, but the problem with that is, like I said, thermodynamics. You can't just be in one state all the time. There's going to be an energy balance, it's going to balance it out, you know. So, that probably wouldn't work. And it doesn't work. I mean, it's clear no one's happy all the time. I've never really seen that shit. Those people that look happy all the time when they're outside, they're usually so fucking depressed and bummed out and pissed off when they get in the house. You know? And I know how that is because sometimes I'm like that myself, you know. Dealing with people all the time, I gotta be polite. Sometimes that's hard to do. Live in this country, people are so sensitive, you know. Very weird. You just don't talk about it, you know. It's if I had a problem with somebody in the States, I'd just go right up to them and I'd tell them straight up to their face, "Look, man, blah 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 blah. You know, don't do that." And if they have a problem with what I said, then they can respond. You know, I'm like, "Listen, man, blah blah. All right, okay. We'll come to an agreement, or we will fight about it." People here, it's like something happens and just nobody says shit. It's very strange. And you should see how people act in traffic jams. Oh my God, man. They're totally Zen Buddhists over here. They just sit and they hold the wheel and they just look in the car in front of them. And they don't do it, and they just stay like that. All of them look like that. It's so crazy to see. You know, and I'm fucking pissed. I'm like, fuck, a fucking traffic jam. Damn, you know. My fucking American ass attitude, Scottish blood fury starts boiling, you know. This is a cultural difference, for real. Also talking about the generational gaps, you know, about how I'm Generation X, so I didn't have any of the computers when I was growing up. I didn't have any cell phone until I was like out of high school, graduated high school. And I didn't even have like one of those walkie-talkie things, you know, beep, 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 with my boss at work. But we didn't even have cell phones. I had my first cell phone when I was like 23 or something. So that's where I am. I don't know, I guess my generation is like, we don't trust the government. I don't trust anything they do. I think everything they do is bullshit. I totally like disagree with them even having ability to say what is best. And you know, they can arrest anybody. They don't care. They just arrest anybody they want to arrest. They're just gonna pluck them right out, and they're arrested. They're in jail for 20 years, 30 years, and they say, "Oh, she was a spy. She was a Russian spy." So it's like, okay, anybody can be a spy now. I mean, so dangerous. You just lock people up, put them in a cage, no problem. It's messed up, you know. This here is really delicious whiskey. Blair Athol. Well, anyways, I'm logging off here, getting a little bit sleepy.